Hey everybody, welcome back to the warbossfitz channel. Today we are going to be having ourselves a firefight with the new 3.6 beta rules. We're also going to be adding in some of the advanced rules today, so let's see who we got fighting. Team number one, we got ourselves some Goblin Reclaimers. Starting off the top of the list with our heroes, we have a Death Walker champion running with the quick shot aura. We have a boss champ with a jetpack giving out precision fighter aura. Then we have a squad of 3 freaks. These come with unpredictable fighter. I gave them instinctive, and they also are getting one of the precision fighter buffs. 3 squads of shooters. All 3 squads all have one of those bubble guns, and they have good shot. And then we have 3 storm boys with jump packs. We gave them instinctive as well, along with the second precision fighter buff. Then we have a Death Walker decked out with a rocket launcher and an assault flamer. And then we have 2 individual killer tanks armed with rockets with good shot. They are the ones that are getting the quick shot aura. Now, on to the next warband. And our second warband today is the Saurian Starhost. Starting off with our heroes, we have a Saurian veteran with counter in melee aura along with a protection feat. Another Saurian veteran with rending in shooting. This one is decked out to shoot people in the face. Then we have a Gecko champion with teleport and caster 2, and he is armed with a spell amplifying stick. Then we have 3 Gecko cohorts. These guys are all individuals with teleports and their AP2 assault weapons. 2 Saurian warriors decked out for shooting because they get 4 shots when they're shooting, as opposed to 4 shots in melee, but in this case they're the ones that are going to get the rending from the hero. 2 Raptor Riders decked out with a lot of close combat weapons. And then we have 2 Gators, 8 attacks, AP2 for each of them with protection feet, and they are the ones that are getting the counter in melee aura effect. So for our table today, I went with more verticality. We've got a lot of multiple levels along with bridges, and then we have a big section of dangerous terrain here. I don't know what it is, but it leaked out of that tank. No one wants to touch it. Ew, icky. But yeah, we have lots of different elevations, lots of line of sight things, lots of places for melee troops to hide before they do their charges. Let's get on the board. So for today's mission, we're going to be using some stuff out of the advanced rule book. Please forgive me if I miss something because I don't usually use this stuff often. I might forget to use some of the advanced actions where there would be better. But our deployment today is going to be Ground War. It's a modified table quarter deployment, and our mission is going to be sabotage. We have 1 objective on the edge of the deployment zones, and if the enemy touches it, it becomes destroyed. Whoever has theirs intact and the enemy's destroyed at the end of the game wins, and if they're both still there, they're both destroyed, they become a tie. So let's talk about the key point differences between the 3.5 and 3.6 of Firefight, because there are quite a few. First off, the death roll is gone. Straight up gone. There is no gambling on whether something's going to die. If it wounds goes to 0, it is just dead. So how will that work? Well, the wounds have now been tripled. Most of our heroes have toughness 9, where some of the big ones, like the Death Walker over there, have toughness 18. So in the second beta of 3.6, all the weapons have been doubled instead of tripled. So we're going to pull back a little bit on the lethality. This way, with tripled wounds, you're going to be able to stick around a little bit longer. At least that's the thought. Assault weapons have been introduced. Those are weapons that can be used in melee. That's in both Firefight, Skirmish, and the larger versions of the game. So it's something that if you haven't heard about it yet, it's going to be a thing. And something put into Firefight is when a weapon has blast, it hits enemies within 6 inches, and it splits all of those hits across everybody it hits within 6 inches. This is something I thought was already in the game and something that I played wrong last version, but hey, I'm retroactively right now because now that's how it works. The melee fight range has been extended out to 3 inches, so now cavalry, especially in the main game, get to fight in 2 ranks, where before you had to do some weird picket fence charging to get them in there. Now they just do. And something that might come up in this game is counter and brace only work if the model is not fatigued. So we have our gators with counter. If they are fatigued, that counter just does not work. All right, that's enough blabbering. Let's get to the fighting. So here is our Goblin deployment. The little jewels just denote the deployment zone. We got one of the tanks and a shooter squad over here. Tank shooter squad, the death bot leader, the shooters, the death bots, and the loonies over there. So they are very much set up in a aggressive format. We don't need no cover. We're coming to get you. The only problem they had was this big old thing of dangerous terrain right in the middle of their deployment zone. They also have the leader and the unit of storm boys up in ambush. For the Saurians, over here on this side, we are being rather offensive. They want to move to cover, but this is the edge of the deployment zone, so that's just kind of the way it worked out. Hopefully they'll be able to get to it before things get shot off the board. Our Gecko Champ is over there, going to be babysitting that and throwing some spells with our Raptors here. And then we have our hero melee Saurian veteran, and then one of the gators going around the corner. Let's see who gets to go first. Normally you do this first, but I'm playing against myself because Uncle C is off doing Uncle C things. So this one, I don't know, I wanted to be surprised. So the Goblins get a 6 and the Saurians get a 4. Goblins are gonna go first. Never one to shy away from a fight. The loonies are gonna run right across the bridge towards the Saurians. I love how I've been calling them loonies this whole time. They're freaks. They're freaks of nature. They're mutated goblins. Rah! That gator is going to double back and run across the bridge at the freaks. Oh Lord, he coming. Seeing he might have an opportunity, Mr. Killer Death Robots, the third, Esquire, is going to run down those stairs right through the dangerous terrain, putting himself there. So the Deathwalker champion has 18 wounds. Let's roll the dangerous. He takes 5, knocking him down to 13. So why did he do such a silly thing? He thought he was going to be in range for his heavy flamethrower. But, if that gator was still there, he would have been able to hit him. So in that case, what he's going to do is he's just going to fire it up at the gator. Why not? So the Deathwalker's flavor is 4 shots, AP 1 blasted, 3 and reliable. So out of 2, we got 4 hits. It's only going to be 4 hits because it's just one gator. Gator's going to be saving on a 4. He has protection feet, but he does not want to waste it on piddly flames. Ooh, he should have, because he took 3 wounds. So he's down to 6. I think all that did was piss it off. Seeing the opportunity cause some hurts, our Saurian veteran champion, he's going to move 6 to there, and I realized they all kind of look the same, so I put that green token to designate that he is the champion, and he is going to take the opportunity to blast into the Deathwalker champ. The Saurian veteran carbine has 8 shots with rending, hitting on a 3. Ooh, no rending, but it is 6 hits. Deathwalker champ saves on a 3. Saved them all. Next to activate will be this Goblin Tonk over there hiding by the stairs. Moved about 8 inches, but that's fine. He's got the quick shot aura. He is going to aim up and fire at the gator. So our tank has 1 shot, AP 2 deadly, 6, hitting on a 4 because a good shot. And that's a hit. Mr. Gator's going to save on a 5. Oh, he saves it. He did not have to blow his protection feet. Next to activate is going to be our Saurian shooter on the corner and move forward. And he is also going to dump his shots into the Deathwalker champ. So his carbine has 4 shots with rending from the aura from the leader. That's going to be 3 hits. One of those is rending. And with Primal, that's not a hit. So 2 saving on a 3. He's good there. And then the rending is going to take 1. Putting the Deathwalker champ down to 12. First of our advanced activations we're going to use, we are going to put our Deathwalker over here on Overwatch. So if anything moves by, he's going to be able to shoot. I wonder what could be moving by anytime soon. Last shot was so nice, they're going to try to do it twice. Our remaining Saurian in the back is going to move onto the bridge and fire into the Deathwalker champ. Same thing as the last one, 4 shots with rending and primal. Ooh, so we got 2 rending hits. Let's go ahead and roll more attacks for those. Wow, okay. So it'll be 1 regular hit and 3 rendings. 1 regular hit on a 3. That's a fail, and then the rendings. 3 more fails for a total of 4. Making it morale test time on a 4. He's good. Putting the walker down to 8. Next activation of the goblins is this unit of shooters, and they are just going to be able to fire over here into that gator because it's going to cause some problems when it gets in there. Now, I don't want to forget the army-wide rules. I'm pretty sure I have forgotten it at some point. Mischievous means the enemy has to re-roll 6s and saves against the goblins. I mean, halfway through turn 1, I remember the army rules. It's better than usual, right? So our shooters have 2 regular rifles. There's going to be 2 shots each. 4 hits, hitting on a 4 because good shot. So there'll be 3 hits there. And then we have 4 shots with our bubble gun, which are AP2. Nothing. So 3 hits, saving on a 3. Ooh, Gator's going to take 1. See, I said it and I already forgot. One of those is a 6. Yeah, still only going to take the 1. Putting the tanking Gator down to 5. Our lead Gecko is going to be able to move 6. And then blink teleport another 3 to fire into Mr. Deathwalker. 2 shots hitting on a 5. Nope. Then we have the second Goblin tank moving forward, putting itself to there. Again, it has quick shot, and it is going to fire its rockets into that Gator. It's got to go down eventually, right? 1 big bada boom on a 4. That's a miss. Our next Gecko is again going to go 6. Blink teleport, putting itself down next to its buddy, and then also fire at the death robots. This is getting ridiculous. 2 shots on a 5. No, neither of them. Our unit of shooters that are back behind the nasty, they're going to move up to there, and they are also going to fire into the Gator. This has just like become a thing now. Okay, regular shots. We got 2 hits. We'll go ahead and roll those saves now. Saving on a 3. Ooh, re-roll that 6 for Mischievous. Okay, he takes 1. And then our 4 bubble garden shots. Ooh, there we go. We got 3 hits. These are all at AP2, so saving on a 5. Failed 2, so he's taken 3. He would be down to 2, but he's going to choose right now to use his protection feat, so saving on a 4. So he just takes 1, meaning it's finally morale test time, and he's good. Putting Biggin down to 4. I bet you there's all kinds of holes and shrapnel and burn marks behind him. Next, we're going to see this Gator moving around the corner. Running across stairwells and everything brings him to there, but that death robot is ready with an Overwatch shot. So -1 to hit because of Overwatch. Regularly hitting on a 5, hitting on a 6. Oh, so close. But it has its close combat flamer, which is close enough. Hitting on a 2 normally, but in this case it'd be a 3. Okay, 1 hit. Saving on a 4. He's good. Oh, wait. He's good. I forgot Mischievous. The last activation for the Goblins is the Shooter Squad. For lack of better targets, they're going to move forward. And then they are also going to shoot at the Gator. Will we be able to take him out in a 1 turn? Let's see. 4 regular shots. Nothing. 4 bubblegum shots. Ooh, that's going to be 3 hits. Saving on a 5. He takes 1. Morale test for the Gator. Ooh, he's going to be stunned. Finally, after absorbing the bullets from an entire warband, it's stunned. Mr. Gecko Champion Caster over here is going to attempt to cast Fateful Guidance on both of the Raptors. So it takes all of his spell points to even cast it, meaning he'll go off on a 4, but he has the Magical Stick spell amplifier, meaning it goes off on a 3. And it does. Both of those Raptors now have Furious. Since the Saurians get to move unopposed right now, we're going to move both of those Raptors up with their newfound aggressiveness, putting them right there. Our last Gecko cohort is going to move behind cover, and he's there to cover that objective. And then the melee Saurian veteran is able to pull himself all the way over to there. And that will be the end of round number 1. So at the end of round number 1, you could definitely tell that Firefight has changed. Now, I am playing a rather large game for it on my first shot, 1,500 points, but just bullets flying everywhere, and this guy refuses to die. But we'll see what happens on round number 2. Goblins and Saurians and poo fields and stuff. Man, let's talk about spaceships for a second. At PrintedStarships.com, he has a whole lot more than just spaceships. He's expanded his catalog in 6, 15, and 28 millimeter, including Station Forge, and now including Papsicle. If you use the link down in the description below, you get 20% off at checkout. Again, that's PrintedStarships.com. A lot more than just spaceships. So in round number 2, our sneaky gobshites with the jetpacks, they have ambushed in. They are definitely headed for that objective. Round number 2 starts. Goblins get to go first. So we're going to start off with the freaks. Why? Because you always start with the freaks. They have instinctive, so they have to charge what's closest to them. Oh, look, a gator. So this might be ill-advised because the gator has counter, so he gets to fight first 8 attacks, AP2 hitting on a 4. For 4 hits. Plus, we have to check for primal. Yep, still just 4 hits. AP2, my freaks only save on a 6. Oh no! Okay, so we took 3, but they do have regeneration. Yeah, that's going to take out one of the freaks. So the freaks, they have unpredictable fighter, giving me a +1 to hit, plus instinctive for an extra +1, and precision fighter aura that's on them for another +1, meaning they have a 2 up to hit. Only got 2 left, 2 attacks apiece with shred on a 2. Man, I wish I had Furious. Gator saving on a 3. So he fails 1 with shred, that becomes another 1. So it takes 2. So the freaks lost combat, and they are going to be stunned. So one of the freaks go bye-bye, but Mr. Gator is down to 7, and he's fatigued. So counter doesn't matter anymore. Mr. Deathbot, he is going to move to there, and then now he gets to get his flamethrowers all up in the Saurians. He's going to be firing up at the Saurian veteran, the one that is the shooter with the green token on it. 4 shots hitting on a 2. So we got 3 hits. So that's going to be 9 hits overall. But we got to do everything within 6 inches. That's a freaking lot. All right, so 1, this kind of dilutes the blast, but it also hits a lot of stuff. So let's start with the veteran. He's going to get 2. And he has to re-roll that 6. So he's going to end up taking 2. Then we'll do the guy right next to him. He's also going to take 2. Ooh, re-roll the 6 for Mischievous. So there's 2 there. Morale test for him. He's good. Going down to the gecko in the back. He takes 1. Raptor Rider right in front of him. He's good, but he needs to re-roll because of Mischievous. There's another one. Second Raptor Rider. He's good. Saurian that's off of the bridge. He's good. Oh, wait, no, it's AP1. He's not good. And then the Gator. He takes another one. So here is the aftermath of all that. Look at how far, it hit there, and the 6 inches was enough to catch this guy. That is a massive blast. I don't know. Okay, here, I'm going to give some thoughts on this. I would like to see that reduced down to 3 inches, maybe. Because, God, it's a 6-inch circle from him, so that is a 12-inch disc of destruction from a blast weapon. I don't know. I don't feel like flamethrowers at this range. Maybe he's just going across all of it. I don't know. My thought, let's reduce that down to 3, or let's meet in the middle. Let's go to 4. 4 is a round number. Yeah. Now that silliness happened, we're going to have our lead Raptor Rider charge right into that guy. Bang. So we start off with Ravage 2, looking for 6s. Nope. Then we have 6 attacks at AP2, hitting on a 4. You know what? We were close enough. Let's use something else. Let's say we use the heavy charge activation. So this way we're going to get +1 to hit. He was between 3 and 6 inches away. He was right at 3 inches away. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He was more like 2, but we're going to say it was 3. So 6 attacks, AP2, hitting on a 3, and he has Furious. Woo! At least it didn't have Primal Boost. So we get +1 hit already from the 6, plus Primal gets us another 1. And then it doesn't double from there. So that's a lot of hits at AP2. The heavy charge, I didn't even need the +1, but hey, it's fun. So saving on a 5 on the Deathwalker. So he took 4. Now he gets to fight back. So he's got 4 attacks, AP1 with Surge, hitting on a 4. Okay, so he's got 3 hits plus the surge, gives us another one for 4 hits. Raptor Rider saving on a 4. He takes 1. Deathwalker Champ needs a morale test of a 4, and he passes. And here is the aftermath of that. Not too shabby. Seeing a hole needs to be clogged, the tank rushes forward, closing that gap with its body, and it's going to fire at the other Raptor Rider. 1 big bada boom out of 4. That's a hit. AP2 saving out of 5. No. Well, it's deadly 6. Bam! As Raptor parts just splash everywhere. Now our Saurian veteran over here he sees an opportunity. He's gonna go 6 inches to there, at another 6 inches to there to charge the Deathwalker. So starting off, we have 2 attacks with Reliable. That's gonna be 1 hit. And then 6 attacks with Shred on a 3. Ooh, not a single primal going off, but he only missed once. So the first attack saving on a 3, and then the other one saving on a 3. Wow, okay, so this is not Shred, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for a total of 6? Yeah, for a total of 6 wounds. All right, Deathwalker fighting back. Also has 6 attacks with Surge, but these have AP1, hitting on a 5. So with the Surge, that means we're going to have 3 hits there at AP1. And also the random Flamer in melee with Reliable. And yeah, so 2 hits. So all these are AP1, looking for a 4. Ooh, with Mischievous, got to reroll those 2. So it takes 4. Saurian Vet lost combat. Deathwalker needs a morale test on a 5. And it's out of there. So after blowing up the Deathwalker, the Saurian veteran is down to 5 wounds and very much threatening that objective. So that unit of shooters, seeing the problem, they are going to hold and focus fire into the Saurian vet. So the base carbine's hitting on a 3. 2 hits. And then the bubble gun. That'll be 3 hits there. So the 3 hits with no AP saving on a 3. Oh my goodness, it takes 3 right there. It's going to pop its protection feet. Let's go ahead and check out the AP2 one, saving on a 5. Have to re-roll that one for Mischievous. Okay, so it's going to be 5 wounds. If the protection feet doesn't work, that's it. Oh, it only takes 1. Wow, knocking it down to 4. That's a morale test at least. On a 3. Ooh, barely. Well, Goblins, that was almost glorious. Our Gator buddy, who's already fatigued, is going to move 6. And then move another 6. Go help its Saurian veteran friend and to continue putting pressure on that objective. Time to pressure this one over here with the Goblins. Our Goblin Storm Mob is going to jump down here to fight the Goblin Commander in a back alley beatdown. So the Storm Boys, they're all decked out for close combat. They have Precision Fighter aura from the other commander, and they also have pistols and their regular stuff they can use in close combat. At least 2 of them do, and then the other guy has the claws for Surge. So let's start off with the basic stuff. Plus 2 to hit because of Instinctive and Precision Fighter, hitting on a 3. Ooh, quite a few. Gecko Champ saves on a 5. Re-rolling that 6. Ooh, so he only saves 1. There's 5 wounds right there. And then our last Goblin has 8 attacks, AP1 with Surge, again hitting on a 3. So that one misses, but then it goes right back in there from that 6 with Surge. These are all AP1 on a 6. Re-roll it because Mischievous. He passes, but he dead as hell. Dead as hell. As there are now gecko parts splattered everywhere. Our little Goblin Storm Boys have contested that objective. So that's a problem. The shooter Saurian vet is going to turn around and hose them. 8 shots hitting on a 3. We're going to go ahead and use the focus fire. So it's going to be hitting on a 2 with rending. Ooh, 2 of those are rending. Everything else hits. So the rending are 6s. Fail, fail. The rest are 6s. I could have rolled everything at the same time. Everything failed for 8 wounds. Morale test for the Storm Boys. Hey, they're going to pass. I love how last turn nothing died, and this turn things are dying left, right, and center. So those guys in back by their objective, the Goblins again say that's a problem. And with this tank ready to activate with Quick Shot, it's going to do this. putting itself up on top, and it's going to fire at the Saurian veteran. One shot on a 4. That's a hit. AP2 saving on a 5. No! Since he already burnt his protection feat, he takes a rocket to the face. Bang! There goes the Saurian vet. Our Goblin boss over here, Mr. Mischief Maker himself, is going to charge into that gecko next to the objective. So, our boss champ has 8 attacks with the precision fighting aura. That means he's going to be hitting on a 3, AP1 with Surge. Alright, so we got 1 miss, but it goes right back from that 6 with Surge. Our gecko buddy over there saves on a 4. Now it's saving on a 5. But that's going to be enough to take him out. Putting Mr. Goblin Champ there, that's a problem. That's a big problem. They have to get this objective back. Saurian on the wall over there is going to turn and fire at that dude down in the alleyway. Again, using focused fire, standing and shooting, hitting on a 3. Alright, didn't need it. All 4 hits. Saving on a 6. That'll do it. So that clears up one problem. But there's still this guy. Our Goblin unit on the stairs. They're going to move to there and fire into the gator. 4 carbine shots, hitting on a 4. 2 hits. 4 bubble shots on a 4. 3 hits. Carbine shots, saving on a 3. Ooh, 1 fail. Bubble shots, saving on a 5. 2 fail. Now he hasn't used his primal blessing or whatever it's called. He's going to use that now, saving on a 4. He still takes 2 of them. Putting it down to 5, at least didn't have to take a morale test. Next activation of We Gotta Fix This. The last Saurian warrior turns to blast the Goblin Champ. Once again, focus fire. 3 hits, saving on a 5. It takes 1. Taking it down to 8. These nasty little goblins over here pull themselves up the stairs to that point, and they are only going to be able to fire with the bubble gun, but it is going to fire over at the Saurian veteran. 4 shots, hitting on a 4. 3 hits. Because the bridge gives cover, it's only going to be AP1. But it's got to reroll 6s. It's going to take 2, down to 5. Ending up like that. So now we have a gecko. It's going to come try to solve this problem over here. It's going to move 6 to there and then teleport, putting itself there to blast into the Goblin Champ. 2 shots. Whiff, whiff. All day with these geckos. Goblins are all done, so now it's all Saurians all the time until the end of round number 2. Our little gecko that's down in the alleyway there is going to move 12 to there. You can barely see its feet. And then it's going to teleport. Ba-bam. Putting itself within 3 of the objective, so at least it's going to be contested at the end of the round. And then Mr. Gator. He is going to recover because he has no idea what happened this round. He just look around and go, ooh, So that is the end of round number 2. Over here, well, we've got a gator with a bunch of goblins in the way. That is under threat. And then over here, hopefully the Saurians will be able to take care of that guy. But there is a whole lot of hurt coming up the middle. Man, I'll tell you what, Firefight feels a bit more dynamic than it did before. Things are definitely going back and forth. On to round number 3. Goblins go first. First activation of round 3. We got our little goblin buddies here. They're going to move to there, and then they are going to fire at that raptor because it is making itself a nice little roadblock. Nice little cover save from being around that building, but the regular rifles, 1 hit, and then the bubble gun, 3 hits. Regular rifle, it's going to be saving on a 2. Ooh, got to re-roll for mischievous. That's good. Bubble gun, saving on a 4. Yep, that'll do it. Opening up that road for the other stuff. Mr. Gator has seen that Deathwalker, and he decides he's going to do off the top rope, frog splash, and dive on it with a heavy charge. So Mr. Gator has 8 attacks, AP2, hitting on a 3 because of the heavy charge. Ooh, pretty nice, because of Primal. That 6 gets us another hit. Deathwalker saving on a 5. It's going to take 3, knocking it down to 1. Gets to fight back. 4 attacks, AP1 with Surge, hitting on a 4. 1 hit, saving on a 3. Not that. Gator took 1, Deathwalker took 3. Gator 1 combat. Deathwalker morale. It's gonna pass. Oh Lord. Both of them taken down to 1 wound. Oh, now that tank's gonna shoot him. I see what you did to my friend. 1 shot on a 4. Oh, it hits. Saving on a 5. No. It took all 6 of them deadlies and explodes in glorious fashion. Our gator on the other side of the board is gonna do a heavy charge into the shooters. 8 attacks hitting on a 3. Ooh, well, we got 3 misses. Saving on a 6. Yep, that is going to be 5 wounds through. Kills 1. Knocks the other one down to 1 wound. 2 attacks back. On a 5. Ooh, 1 hit. Saving on a 3. No! Gator takes a wound. Morale test for the shooters. They're going to fail. The aftermath of that fight is not very impressive for Mr. Gator, but at least they're stunned. Mr. Deathbot on 1 wound remaining. With his quick shot aura, he's able to pull himself under the bridge and is going to blast the Saurian warrior with 1 wound left. Time for his flamethrowers and a 6-inch blast. All 4 hits. That is going to be 12 hits. Now there are 5 targets there. We're going to have the Saurian veteran, the guy who actually got hit with it, take 3 hits. Everybody else takes 2. So Saurian vet, he's going to take 2. Morale test for him. He passes. The one that got blasted. Yeah, he's gone. Last remaining Saurian on the corner of the building. He takes 1 more. Gecko next to the objective. Takes 2. Morale test for him. He's stunned. And then the last Gecko takes 1. As the fire touches everybody, you can hear the Goblin and the Deathwalker just giggling. This Gecko at the edge of the bridge. He's going to turn and focus fire down at the Deathwalker. 2 shots on a 4. Still with the +1 to hit. Nothing. This unit of Goblins hiding by the corner of the building. They are going to focus fire into that gator. 4 base rifles. 2 hits. Saving on a 3. 1 goes through. 4 bubble guns. 2 hits. Wait, no, that's 3 hits because good shot plus focus fire. Yeah, it'll be 4 hits. Saving on a 5. Takes 2 more. It's down to 1 wound left. Morale test. Gator's good. Come on, Gator. Hold on. Our Saurian veteran over here is going to focus fire into that Goblin champ. 8 shots, hitting on a 2. Ooh, okay, so it's going to be 8 hits. 3 of those are going to be rending, and then we get to roll 3 more attacks. Okay, 2 misses there. 3 rending on a 6. There's that, and then the rest on a 5. Saving 2, so that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Taking him down to 1 wound left. Morale test. That's a pass. Alright, he might not take it this turn, but what he is going to do, he is going to attack that Saurian veteran. 8 attacks, AP 1 with surge, hitting on a 3. So we got 1 miss, but then we got the 2 surges in there. Saving on a 4. No, that'll do it. The Saurian vet gets all cut to pieces, and the Goblin champ heads back towards the objective. I'm not sure what activated yet or not, but that Saurian on the wall is going to fire at the Goblin champ. 4 shots, focused fire, hitting on a 3. It lost its rending because the vet is dead. 1 hit. Goblin saves on a 5. And it's good! This tank over here is going to ruin everybody's fun. Fire that gator. On a 4. Oh, it misses. Oh, no. Little Gecko buddy on the objective is going to recover. They take the objective back for now. Time for the Loony Freaks. That's what I'll call them now, the Loony Freaks. They're going to charge the gator. Because of instinctive, they gotta. Let's see here. Unpredictable fighter. Ooh, we're going to get AP 1. So we're going to have 4 attacks with instinctive, precision fight aura. We're going to be hitting on a 3. They all hit. Okay. He's going to be AP 1 with shred. That's enough. The gator only has armor 3. As it's ripped into bits and eaten by the freaks. Our last Goblin squad over here. They are going to recover, and that is going to bring us to the end of round 3, on to round number 4. Okay, as round 4 starts, these guys over here, we're not going to worry about them because they're not going to have any bearing on what happens over here. All of this stuff is what we're going to be using. And the Saurians get to go first. First activation, this guy can see the feats over there, so he is going to fire at the Deathbot with a focus fire. Hitting on a 4. Oh my goodness. A Gecko finally hit something. 1 hit. It's AP2, but it's going to be AP1 because of cover. Saving on a 4. That's a fail. That's a fail. Much rejoicing as the Deathbot is finally taken out. Goblin squad back there. They are going to be close enough to focus fire into that Gecko. So good shot, focus fire, hitting on a 3. Okay, 3 hits from the rifles. Saving on a 4. Takes 1. And then the bubble gun. 3 hits there. On a 6. Nope. Next, our Saurian warrior once again is going to stand there and just lay on the trigger into the Goblin. 4 shots hitting on a 3. 4 hits. Well, plus another hit from Primal. Saving on a 5. Well, for a 4 because the cover, that 2 is all it takes. Blowing our little Goblin champ off the board. The Goblins aren't done yet. They're going to do a sneaky. That tank over there is going to go to there and fire at that Gecko on the objective. Hitting on a 4. That's a hit because of cover, saving on a 5. That doesn't do it. It's deadly 6. Final activation that we're going to do for the Goblin. You see that tank all the way back there? Well, she's fast. With a 16-inch move, it puts it right there. And at the end of the game, that Goblin is going to be able to sabotage and blow up that objective for a Goblin victory. So after 4 turns, there are quite a few Goblins left on the board, and only this guy. That guy's the only one left with 1 wound left to tell the tale. Woo! All right, let's talk about some stuff. All right, guys, so that was my first game of the 3.6 beta Firefight rules. If you are a Patreon, you have access to these rules. Tano wants to have feedback on them, and man, after this game, I'll tell you what, the old version of Firefight, I was not that big of a fan of, just because, so few models, things tended to just kind of just get killed off the board randomly with the random death thing. But this, where we have triplified the wounds and only doubled the weapons, that felt like a back and forth game where the Saurians and the Goblins both had like Hail Marys to jump on the other objective first, and then just the Goblins were able to grind through the middle to get to the Saurians to finally finish it out with the last activation of turn number 4. I like it. I like it a lot. And I have tons of armies on the wall. Yeah, we're going to have to see if this becomes a thing. 3.6 Firefight. I like it. I am not in depth as some people are with the rest of the rules. Like I don't specialize in the army, so I can't tell you like what is good or what has changed. But again, if you are a Patreon and you go on the beta, you can download the rule books for 3.6, and it gives you a change log on there. So it'll tell you everything that has changed and things that have changed between the first beta and the second beta. So that'll do it for me out of here today, guys. Make sure you check out the sponsors, PrintedStarships.com and Corvus Terrain. And I hope you guys are having fun playing OPR wherever you are. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.